Hi everyone, my name is Galina and I create jewelry at AG Jewelry Studio CA. So I want to teach today how to use the bead crochet patterns. You can find them on Pinterest, like anywhere, so they're very easy to use. So for example, this one is a PDF file. So you can find them in PDF, in PNG. PNG is the picture. So this one is the PDF. So you will see the rope in three different views. So the left one is usually where it's drawn. The middle one, it's your rope as if it's unfolded. And the one on the right, how your rope, bead crochet rope will actually look. So if we scroll down, so on page 2, on the top, you will always find the name, how it was named by the author, circumference, that is how many beads in a row, repeat of colors, rows, how many rows per repeat. This one is a very useful information because when you actually need to do calculations, for example, you would crochet and see, usually you would know after you crochet a few ropes or a few samples, how many rows you have per centimeter, per inch, per half inch, and then it's easy for you to calculate how many repeats you need. There is total number of rows per repeat and total number of beads. So in PDF file, you won't see what colors are, but you will see it in a PNG file. I will show you a little later. So here's the pattern, how actually, and it's how you would start putting the beads is you will start from the left and you would go down, doing one at a time. Then you would go up again, go into the second column, and you again go down, and you would move up, and then you start with the third one. So every time you finish one column, you would go back to the second and continue putting your beads on your string, whatever you are using to string the beads on, and then crochet. And then it will go like this, going up, again going down, going up, and you will do it until the very end over here. So I prefer to do a pattern, okay, especially at the beginning, and then you will see how many rows you have per. I like to do centimeters. It's easy, it is more precise than inches, but it's up to you, and then it's easy for you to calculate, for example. So let's go back to the first page. So why do we need this picture? So picture 2 is very useful because you can see how your pattern will look. Okay, and sometimes on Pinterest you can find a pattern that you can see very well as a finished piece, but you don't see this by columns. Okay, so you actually can use this middle one to figure out the order of the beads to put. So when you start stringing the beads on the rope, you will start from top to bottom, and you will go from from right to left. So you would do one gray, one light gray, dark gray, red, and then so on. And then you go back and you do it. Okay. And when you actually crochet, you would be actually crocheting in the other order. You would crochet from bottom to top and then left to right. Okay, so left to right. So this particular pattern has 12 beads in the circumference. So there are two ways that you can do your bead crochet rope. One is when you use a slip stitch. You can find tutorials that I did for slip stitch bead crochet, and that would be recommended for a beginner. And another one is the Russian bead crochet. So you use a single crochet to crochet. I will do a tutorial later, and I will insert in this video a difference between the regular slip stitch crochet, bead crochet and the Russian bead crochet. So how patterns can be, the same pattern can be used for both of them, and you can do this one in both ways, but they will look differently. So if you use this pattern and you do a slip stitch, so your beads will be lying on top of each other and there will not be a movement in the pattern. So it will look like on the third one. If you use a Russian way, and I would use a Russian way because I prefer to do the slip stitch for the circumference up to 10, but some people use up to 14, and it's a little bit different technique because they get a little bit stiffer. So there's a different technique how to do it with more beads in a row. I prefer the Russian way to do after 10. So this one, 12, would be with the Russian way. And how it would look, your rope will shift, the pattern will shift a little bit. So it will be like twisted. And the beads will be lying down diagonally, just like you see over here. You'll see the beads diagonally, and that's why you will see a twist in a rope. Okay. So when you look at the pattern, what I also wanted to mention over here, for example, on the top, you will see two white. You just ignore them. This is just done because you see over here it's a finished line, but over here it's a little bit more, so you just ignore and you will start straining the beads from this one, from the gray. In the pattern, it's actually not reflected. Sometimes in some pattern you will see blank white squares that you will start with, so you'll basically ignore them. When you do calculation, how many repeats you need, and if, for example, it's small repeats with not many rows in a repeat, it mostly happens with like 6, 8, 10 circumference beads in a circumference. So they're very easy to match and do the specific lengths. I will talk about lengths in a different video as well, using different material findings to finish them. But for the longer patterns, like for example for this one, it's easier for the necklace, but if you want to do a longer pattern for the bracelet, sometimes you may end up with too much of a pattern that is like you would need 3.5. So it seems like a lot. So what I would do, I would start calculating from the center, from the middle, and see how many repeats would be in the center, and then I would add the base color for the ends. That's why it's important to know your tension, how many beads you will have in a repeat, and how many centimeters, inches, or half inches you will have in a repeat. And then, for example, for this one, I would personally add black one because it seems to be like more better choice. This would be a base color that I would start with, and then the central, the most number of repeats for this nice pattern would be in the middle. So, and it will not be as noticeable at the ends. Okay, so what else did I want to mention? So I'm gonna insert please keep watching. I will show another video. I will insert it for the PNG file.